lovely. I'll make you. Oh look, we've got loads of our special guests: Paul Richards, Rosie Meek, David Weatherall.
Oh, we don't know new people here.
Got lots of our special guests here. Andrew Self. Hey.
Tim, I'm really sorry.
I think Lois is coming as well.
Hey, Paul.
Thank you, Rosie. Have a good afternoon out riding.
Another one too.
Yeah, no, I tell you what, we absolutely loved your Q&A, and depending on how much longer the Daily Show runs for, we could definitely have you back on. So let us know.
Great, count me in.
Okay.
Yeah, anytime.
Thank you. Take care, Rosie. Bye.
Nice to see you.
Right, hi, Teresa.
Yeah, brilliant. I've already written 26 names down. Rosie counts. She's been on the show. We're going to get 50. and Lindsay's here. Mother Fairchild is on as well. I love it.
Boosting the numbers.
No, I told Dad.
Yeah, Harry, go on. Read out the schedule, please.
Okay. Hi, guys. How you doing today? Good. So, Jenny Jason, Father Deal with Teresa, Sitting Cannon, somebody with Mark Steele, Budget, Dancing Dee, Q&A with Bill Randall, Ex Mayor and BTTC, Tina with Mr. Q, a person, and the pair.
Lovely.
So, first one first, Jenny Jason. I need to check it with Dave Venery first, please.
Yeah, let's see how Dave Weatherall's doing.
How am I doing?
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, I'm having a lovely day. It's so hot down here in
Are you sunbathing?
I am indeed, sir. Don't you worry about that. I've actually just been doing a workout in the garden, and I thought, I'll get a nice sweat on, get a nice pump on for you guys, and now here I am. Done all the hard work. Now I can just enjoy relaxing and listening to some stimulating conversation.
Lovely. I think since we've had you on, Dave, we've had Tintin, Lois Peak. Which other table tennis players, Teresa?
We've had the Polish Paralympian.
Oh, yeah, sorry. We had Carolina Peck.
Yeah.
No, yeah.
You know Carolina? Of course you know Carolina.
Yeah, legend.
Because her sister and her mum live in Worthing, so she's often over
really?
and comes and trains with us. And
oh, nice.
Yeah.
Never knew that.
Great player.
You've had some world class people in Brighton now, especially with the old the Sweden scheme and stuff, and the Berlin guys.
Yeah. We've just had Lois joined us. Hello, Lois.
Marvellous. And Tim, in a moment, can you check on Martine? Because it's lovely to see Martine from the women's group. I'd like to know where she is.
Hi, Martine.
Hi.
Hi, Martine. How are you?
Hello, everybody. I'm fine. I'm good. Thanks.
Where are you, Martine? Because last time
I'm in Brighton now.
Oh, you're back in Brighton now. Yeah. Oh, cool.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it's good to see you.
Yeah.
Where did you go? You went to Tokyo, didn't you?
Yeah, but I had to come back earlier than planned.
Yeah.
I was planning to go to Tokyo, then to Malaysia, but I couldn't make it anymore. The border were closed and everything. So.
Oh.
Yeah, fine. Having a lovely day. Thank you.
Nice.
Today we got a special date on here tonight with my mother.
Lindsay.
Hi, sweetheart. Yes, I'm doing well.
You're an esteemed company, Lindsay. We all are. We've got lots of special guests. I've never seen so many emojis, Lindsay. Do you want to talk us through your emojis on your Zoom? Zoom name?
I'm not sure I did that myself. What have I got?
Come on, Mum, hurry up.
This is the hard bit. Oh, no. Oh, then I had to do the end of the back with my 10. So I got to 43. I was trying to challenge myself. So, right, guys, I want to see you all trying to do 50 of something. Okay, can divide it up, 4 or 5 ideas. Let's see everybody active. If you've got a bat and ball, have a go.
It's questions that I think, even if you know nothing, now, given this is a table tennis club, I would guess that people have some vague interest in sport. But I think this is a sports quiz that you can probably do just as well. You don't need to know anything about sport to get the answer. Probably.
Now, Mark, just a couple of questions. How many questions are there?
10.
Should we, Teresa and Mark, what do you think? go through the questions and then go into breakout rooms and have a quick conference. Let's do that.
Yeah.
Okay. I thought if you put yourself on that list, Mark, it would have been easy.
Yes. Well, maybe.
Joking, mate. Question.
Oh, blimey, question 9. I haven't written it down. Oh yes, I remember it was right. Question 9.
I'm on 8. Or was
right,
that
that was question 8. Sorry, question 8. Sorry, you're quite right. Question 8.
Yeah.
Question 8. Gabby Logan, right?
Yeah.
Gabby Logan, who I'm sure people know, who presents the sports programs amongst other things. She did herself take part in the Olympics, but which sport did she play?
This is the McDermott. Who was?
The restrained with gas.
I think so.
Yeah, I have no idea.
I thought it was rugby.
That was Pedro Santos.
No, thank goodness, no.
Rugby league.
Shall we say
rugby?
rugby?
Union.
Rugby
league, sorry?
Yeah.
Rugby league. It won't be rugby union. They're too posh.
Yeah. And it won't be Brighton Hove Albion.
I know the next one. Definitely know the next one.
Oh, that's great.
That was Elton John. Reginald Dwight is his real name.
Oh,
really?
Ronnie Dwight. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, you reckon? Chris, do you think so?
I put that one.
I don't know either.
I put that one.
Oh, good.
I was thinking Portuguese.
Okay.
And what about the Frank Lampard in both Ronnie O'Sullivan and who voted Labour?
It's not Ian Botham and it's not Sebastian Coe. I reckon it's Frank Lampard.
Oh, I thought it was Ronnie O'Sullivan.
Oh, maybe then.
I actually thought it might be O'Sullivan as well.
Okay, let's
sure.
go for O'Sullivan. No, let's go O'Sullivan.
Wrong.
Yeah, let's go for O'Sullivan.
Let's go for O'Sullivan. Let's do it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Chris, we want to say sorry for cutting you off last night.
Mum.
I didn't mean to.
Your mum. Don't worry. That's okay.
Okay,
So what was
cricket score, wasn't it?
Yeah, the faintest
Yeah,
idea.
Mark's highest score in cricket.
What do you reckon?
3, but it probably is nil.
I don't even know how the score is in cricket. So
No, not me.
Well, not
Should we just get some?
It's runs, isn't it? You get so many runs.
So what do you reckon?
Chris,
Yeah, Chris, you want to say?
Pick a name pick a number between 1 and 10.
Well, in cricket, they do it for 4 or 6.
Oh, I've got 3. Should we say 3? Because Chris just said 3.
Why not?
Okay.
Chris, is that all right? 3?
Do you want 3 or 6?
Pick a number, Chris. You need to pick one.
He was really bad at it.
6.
6.
Okay.
Okay.
And Justin Bieber has it written into his contract that he has to have a table tennis table wherever he turns up.
Bieber says that.
Apparently, yeah. Well, that means he plays or not. I don't know. Maybe,
Paul has put on, this is my ping pong porn book. Paul, if only you knew what was in this book. It's not suitable for children. But what there is a letter from Illinois State Senator Barack Obama, June the 30th, 2004. Dear table tennis friends.
Oh, right, okay.
A whole letter about going to a competition in Chicago in June 2004. So yeah, there we go.
Count up their own totals, really, and that we don't have a.
Just Donna and Bill, we were in a team together. Did we get all of those right? No, we didn't get.
We got one wrong. We got the cricket score wrong.
We got the cricket score wrong, but everything else right.
Ooh.
Beat that.
Impressive. Yeah, we only got 6.
All right. Oh, well, that's all right. Well, I'm glad people get it. There's no point if people can't get them.
That was a great quiz. Love that.
Do you want to play us a song, Mark? You said
I'm going to play a song.
You want to play us a song?
I will in the end.
All right. We'll come back to the song at the end. Yeah. Now, I know it's 5:45, and for those of you that weren't told this, welcome to what is our 50th show, and this is a 24-hour celebration. You are not allowed to go anywhere or leave. So, good evening and welcome.
Don't believe a word of it.
That's a joke, but we might run over. We might run slightly over, but I think we can be all right with that because it's show number 50. So, Teresa, Teresa and or Harry? Harry, you there? Can't see Harry because he's.
Is he there? Harry, you know what's next.
Go on, Lindsay. What is next? Because I can't see Harry. There's so many people on here. It's Dancing with Dee, isn't it?
It is Dancing with Dee, and Harry is also always up there, and I'm sure Andrew will. And Dee always says she wants everybody up, so I hope all our guests will as well.
Hi, Dee.
I am.
Now, you messaged me earlier.
Send you the link.
Did you send it to me?
Yeah.
Oh, I love this tune. I love this tune. Shall I just play the audio only?
Yeah. And can you have everybody on?
Yeah, we'll have it.
I think everybody just do their own thing for this, but it's to celebrate our 50th show.
We can have everyone on the gallery view.
Oh, we've got a professional dancer.
Yeah.
And we got Andrew Self, who's the greatest dancer. So, Dancing with Dee and Andrew Self from The Greatest Dancer. Yes, Andrew. Hello, everyone. Come on! It's a celebration. It's a celebration.
Before I put it in on my toes.
Yeah. Bill, there's an amazing video. 2012, back at Pavilion Gardens when we did the first ever ping launch out.
Yeah, I remember that, yeah.
There's Gully from the Albions there. You
Yeah.
as the mayor. Harry is there because he was walking past and I was there helping organise it. And we'd never done anything with you and I'd never met Harry before. And then 8 years later, Bill's been involved for the last 7.5 years and he's been a big supporter of the club and made lots and lots of brilliant, invaluable introductions. And Harry Fairchild is, we all know Harry Fairchild is. So it's a funny video to look back at now because we didn't know each other at the time.
No.
Now here we are now.
Okay.
But yeah, Bill, we've been talking.
I'll just tell you about Gully.
Go on, tell us about Gully.
If you can't beat a bloke dressed up as a seagull with a big thing on his head, you can't beat anybody. And I beat him. And then one of the next times I met you was at the Brighton and Hove Sports Awards at the Amex Stadium. And Dick Knight, who was then the chairman of Brighton and Hove Albion, took me aside and said, I want to play you at table tennis and restore the honour of the Albion after you beat Gully. I beat him as well. He was so cross. Good. He was very cross indeed.
2-0 to the BTTC, I think.
Yeah.
But, I'm sure we can open the floor up to questions, Bill, but I just been talking to Teresa and other people sort of helping organise the show. And I just think you've got some brilliant stories. Well, one of which is about Jackie magazine.
Yes.
Your early years as a journalist.
Yes.
Just give us a little bit of background about that, because some of us are far too young to remember Jackie magazine.
I think almost everybody involved in this won't remember it, but it was first published in 1964, and I was on it when it was launched, and I became the teen scene correspondent. Hi Chicks, and I spent time with the Beatles and the Rolling Stones and the Hollies and the Kinks, Crystals, the Ronettes, all sorts of people.
Wow.
In the pop world. But I also occasionally wrote the horoscopes. I wrote a poem a week, Love Lines by Paul Hart, and we used to make up quite a lot of the letters on the Kathy and Claire letters page, because you only got letters about half a dozen topics really. So to spice it up a bit, we used to make them up as well. It was huge fun, and particularly being around the Beatles was really, really like being in a parallel universe. I don't think there's been anything like it since. And there was a glazed expression on everybody's face around them, and they were run like a military operation, and they were incredible. I mean, you couldn't hear anything they sang when they were on stage because the halls were full of mainly 7 and 8 year old girls. You see the films of Beatle concerts with older teenagers at the front. Most of the audiences were small girls with their mums, and they all bounced up and down, the little girls, in time to the music, and you couldn't hear a thing. And indeed, the second time I was with them, John Lennon didn't actually bother to play a lot. He just did chimp impersonations and stuff on the stage. It didn't matter. It was enough for them to be there where the Beatles were there at the same time. It was remarkable.
Amazing. We've got quite a few Jackie readers on.
Really? Oh, good.
Paul Richards is claiming that his sister read it.
Good.
Charlie would like a horoscope for their birthday. Susie sent a letter to Jackie.
Yeah.
Louisa read it. Loads of them.
Free gifts stuck on the front, didn't you? You used to get little free gifts. So
that's right. Yeah. Those free gifts. There are companies that only make free gifts to be given away by magazines, and you get a catalogue. You get a catalogue once a year, or you did then, and you go through the catalogue and you choose the things that you want to give away. It's big business.
Incredible.
So that was in the 60s, the mid 60s.
That was 64. The magazine was launched, and at its peak, it had 1 million readers a week.
Yeah. Amazing. And then, then you've done lots since. But Bill's been in Brighton. When did you move to Brighton, Bill? Just
22 years ago.
22 years ago, and you were councillor and...
I was the councillor. I was the leader of the council, first Green Party leader in Britain. And then I was the mayor, and then a councillor again. But I had huge fun as the mayor. I did 800 gigs in the year. And it was hard work. But the great thing about it is you meet so many terrific people, like the sort of people who are involved with this club. The people you don't hear a lot about, but there's so many remarkable, decent, kind folk in the city, as are everywhere. Most people are okay. Unfortunately, there's a significant number of others who can make life difficult for us. But I have a great belief in the human spirit, and I saw a lot of it in that year.
David Weatherall is a Paralympic superstar, and he's sitting in his garden in Plymouth, and he's put on here that I'm in love with Bill Randall.
Oh, right. Okay. I'll tell my wife.
He's on his way, David.
Thank you. Yeah. No, I had a good time, and the table tennis club actually is a beacon of all those things, all those community things that I believe in. You know, it is about table tennis, but if you think about all the other things the club does, all the groups it works with, all the marginalised people who it's helped, and who it's helped develop. If you look at the people who've come through the coaching schemes, fantastic. It's a wonderful organisation, and it is a privilege to be involved with it.
Well, Bill, you've been a big champion to the club for 8 years, and lots of the introductions you've made, you know, we respect your, your judge of character, and you've introduced us to, for example, Brighton Housing Trust. Lots of opportunities, lots of doors have opened up because of your sort of standing in Brighton. So thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah. So Fran, you got your hand up. Fran, what's the question?
Bill, do you remember me from It's a Knockout?
Do I remember
me from It's a Knockout?
No, I don't. I'm sorry, no.
Because do you remember you used to come to It's a Knockout?
No, I don't remember, I'm afraid.
Oh, in Muttendine.
Oh, sorry, I beg your pardon. Yeah, I do remember It's a Knockout in Rottingdean. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm still doing it.
There's Fran. She's got a cat indie behind her.
Well, there's a lot of good stuff goes on in Rottingdean, isn't there?
Yeah, there is.
Big cat. Indie's grown.
Oh, and also, Tim, don't forget my quiz tomorrow.
Yeah, we'll never forget.
We won't forget, Fran. It's on. It's written down.
There.
I don't know.
Chris O's got his hand up.
Bill.
Yes.
How you doing?
I'm fine. How are you?
I'm good.
Good.
I mean, watching TV with my mum, and I live with Fran. We did is a knockout about 7 or 8 times, and we've been runners-up and winners.
Yeah.
Do you remember when you came to the bandstand and we played and you beat me?
At the bandstand?
The best day of Bill's life, Chris.
Yeah, I do. I do remember that. God, there's so many things that I did. I remember a lot of things very clearly, but some of them not so well. Did you say that was at the bandstand?
Yeah, that's right. Could hear how your mare is laying down.
Yeah. Yeah, that's
the summer. It must have been in the summer of 2020.
The bandstand's a great venue for stuff.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Really,
Mum was there. Mum was trying to speak to you at the time, and you were just playing.
You just can't get enough table tennis. Bill can't get enough table tennis. Bill, go on, Bill.
Yeah, carry on.
Susie's asked, good questions. How do you think the ecological state is of the earth, being a green councillor? Should we ban overuse of planes?
Well, there's a lot of things that we should be looking at. I mean, the planes actually make a small contribution, but there is a lot of unnecessary air travel. And I think one of the interesting things about where we are at the moment is that this sort of technology is being used for all sorts of things. And I think a lot of people, after the outbreak is over, will stay using these things, which will reduce the need for air travel. Some air travel is necessary, but a lot of it is absolutely unnecessary. We also, you know, I live on the coast road. I'm enjoying it at the moment because there's so little traffic. It's quieter. The pollution levels have gone down, as you all know. Great improvement. I'd love to see it stay like that, but I understand that people have to use cars. But there is a serious issue about the environment and about the future, not of the planet. The planet will survive. It's what happens to the human race. And we're in danger of self-extinguishing if we go on in the way we are at the moment.
Does anyone else have a question? Either put it in the chat or put your hand up. Fairchild?
Hey, Mandu.
Yes, Harry.
Do you remember at the pin event and you are talking to a man? I did too. Do you remember I beat you?
No. Harry, you never let me forget. You remind me every time we meet. Yes, I do. You beat me first of all at the Grace Air place, and then you beat me on several occasions since. Of course, you are a fantastic player now. You were a good player then, but the coaching you've had has turned you into a really, really good player, and of course, an international champion. And
my vehicle, his name is
Yeah.
Sorry.
Wenway. Harry loves Wenway.
Oh, Wenway. I played Wenway, and I did used to play a lot when I was a kid. And I don't play much now, but I still have quite a good sort of disguised backhand smash. And Wenway has been very kind to me. And I dropped one of these in. I didn't see the ball again after that. He turned up a couple of gears. And that happened with me when I was with Tim at Patcham School. And you had the #1 woman British player there, Tim.
Yeah, Joanna Parker, now Drinkle.
And was that with Looked After Children?
That's right, yeah, with the virtual school. So Joanna Parker, and she actually, Teresa and Will Bailey's just joined us, and Dave will like this. Joanna Drinkle, she came to Brighton, and Paul Drinkle had just landed at Heathrow and was just going to see his wife, who lives in Surrey somewhere, and he just turned up. So Paul Drinkle came to the school, Patcham School, played with all the players there, and then to the youth club, to the BYC. They were both playing in the Brighton Youth Centre. They spent the whole evening there, so it was lovely. And as have David Weatherall and Will Bailey. And when you get someone who's played in the Olympics or the Paralympics come and just join in with whoever's in the hall, then you know that they're a good person, you know?
Well, what also impressed me that night was the fact that you were running the session for the virtual school, for looked after children who are the most vulnerable of all the kids in the city. And what an important thing that was you were doing. And I do remember that one of the young women who was there came all the way from Worthing each week to take part in it. And it obviously meant a great deal to them at that time.
Yeah. Now, we still do a lot with the virtual school. As Nick Creel has been our sort of a lead on that. And Nick's just put his hand up.
He's done a great job.
Thanks, Bill. Appreciate that. Bill, I could be wrong on this, but I've got a question for you, a bit political. Were you in the Labour Party? And if so, can you tell us the reasons why you moved from the Labour Party to the Green Party?
I left the Labour Party when Tony Blair was the Prime Minister. I left before Iraq. I left because I thought with the huge majority they had, they could have done a great deal more than they did. And the issue which I've been involved with all my working life and campaigned on is housing and social housing, affordable housing for people without, on modest incomes or very low incomes. And they did not do nearly enough for that. And they started a trend really, which has seen the death of social housing in this country. And if you look at housing now, the cost of housing in Brighton is phenomenal. Renting or buying, and it's true of many areas of Britain. Labour did some really good things about education, but I just felt they could have done so much more. They had a huge majority and a huge support in the country, a country that wanted change after so many years of the Conservatives.
So housing was a key issue for you and they didn't do enough on housing?
Absolutely, absolutely not. And the housing minister was an old colleague of mine, a man called Nick Rainsford. I'd been on the board of Shelter in the 1970s with Nick. And I know that Nick wanted to do more, but he just didn't have the power to do it. And he wasn't a member either of Blair's group or Brown's group. He was not in a gang. So he didn't really have the power himself.
What do you think they could have done? Invested way more in social housing, just built more houses, basically.
I do. I think that they had done a lot in the past, in the 70s, particularly for housing associations. But I fear that they didn't spend enough money on it. It was, it's so important. And there's all sorts of studies that show that, you know, for every pound of public money you spend on housing, you get at least 60p of that back in income tax and VAT and all sorts of other stuff. The effects of poor housing on people's health and how people suffer, how the health service has more pressure because people have got bad housing. Kids in temporary housing trying to do homework in bed and breakfast accommodation. It goes right across the piece. And it's fundamental, in my view, to everything else that we do. And we need to do a lot more about it. We're in a very bad state at the moment.
Mark has his hand up. Mark's got a question.
Yeah, Bill, I've also got a very important political question.
Yeah.
What's your favourite letter you ever made up when you were writing for Jackie?
What you mean the Cathy and Claire letters?
Yeah, you know when you said you were making up letters.
I made one up about climbing the rails into St James's Park after dark with my girlfriend.
All right.
But in her name, I can't remember any more than that. But the poems, I used to write a poem. They had a poet before I started,
right?
And his girlfriend left him, and he lost the muse. And they said to me, "Oh God, we need a poet." Well, my girlfriend was in London. I might say the girlfriend has now been my wife for all those years. And I used to send her poems. So I had all these poems, and I said, "Well, I've got some poems. Try those." So they thought they're great. So they used all the ones I'd got. And then I had to start writing one to order every week. So one week it was a sad poem. One week it was a happy poem. I got fed up with it. I did run this smart ass. I did a sort of pastiche of James Joyce, and the editor didn't like that at all. But
no, what about the 10-year-old girl readers?
Well,
that's a brilliant pastiche of James Joyce.
I know. The other thing I remember was we used to do loves and hates. You meet the Beatles, or I remember Manfred Mann. I don't know if anybody remembers the Manfred Mann band, but Manfred Mann, very bright, smart guy. One of the few bands who could actually play. He's good musicians. And I did loves and hates with Manfred Mann. He'd do 10 things they love, 10 things they hate. And one of the things he said he loved was John Coltrane. He was a jazz musician. And one of the things he hated was apartheid. And the editor looked at it and he said to me, "Who the bloody hell's John Coltrane?" And I said, "Well, he's a tenor player who plays with Miles Davis." And he said nothing about girls. Put blondes in. So we put blondes in instead of John Coltrane. And then he said, apartheid. You know, he was South African, man. He said he wasn't having that in his magazine, so he put girls who smoke instead. And I remember I did that with Ronnie Renette of the Renettes. One of the things she hated was old people. And I said, "Why do you hate old people?" She said, "Because they smell." But I saw the Renettes, all the crystals. I can't remember which one it was, in Dundee. I was based in Scotland, in Dundee, and they were playing on a Friday night. And the dances used to start, or the main acts used to start after the pubs were shut at 10 o'clock. And the Renettes had a fantastic, I think it was the Renettes, had a fantastic act on stage. You know, they danced and moved around. And suddenly this bloke got up on the stage behind them. He was, you know, completely out of it. And he was dancing on the end of them. And they went that way. And I remember the drummer trying to get his drums away from it all. And a commissionaire came onto the stage to ask this man to leave the stage. And he hit the commissionaire. And then there was mayhem. Dundee used to be a big wrestling city. There were lots of professional wrestlers in Dundee. They were the bouncers. And they came onto the stage. And they picked this bloke up and they threw him back in the audience. But then all his mates were up on the stage and there was absolute mayhem. And on the other side of the stage, an army of police in their big sort of rubberized coats and their hats with the black and white came across with their arms in. They just pushed everybody through into the wings where I was with the photographer. And fortunately, I had a press card and showed it to them. But they just took the blokes who caused the trouble out of the back and gave them a pasting. Nobody complained, you know, average Friday night in Dundee. It was great the way the Renettes, still waving and dancing, went off the other side of the stage.
Lovely, Bill. Thanks, Mark. Good question. I think Bill and Mark, it would be a pleasure to, when we can, go to the hand in hand, and probably three of us would probably fill the place up.
I'll drink to that.
I've been talking to Harry Fairchild and a few others about is, do you remember when we had that really good event at the club when all the, you know, loads of people were there and Mike Diper from Sport England, and we had, it was about 2.5 years ago, it's like a celebration event with food and stuff.
I do, yeah.
We want to get one of those in the diary for, you know, probably April or May next year. And Mark, Bill, Will Bailey, we would like all of you guys to come and help. With that.
Be a great pleasure, Tim.
Will Bailey.
Hello, everyone.
Hello, Will.
Hello, Will. Good to see you all.
How's it going?
I was loving that. I was really enjoying that.
Where are you?
I'm just at the park at the minute. I have to come out to have these kind of chats because the family, you know what it's like. Bella's going absolutely crazy indoors. There's a dog running about. It's absolutely mental. So I've had to retire to the car to do this. Hope everyone's doing good, and hopefully I can be playing some of you guys soon down the club. I was messaging Pedro this week to say, you know, when do you think we can get a practice in soon? Hopefully in the next few months, I hope.
Yeah, absolutely. We've got a meeting tomorrow night, Bill. And
yes, we have. Yeah.
Stephen, be careful, but think that would be quite appreciated by those of us that can access that. So yeah, we'll let you know, Will.
Awesome. Can you still see me? You can still see me, guys. Just got a call coming.
No. Take that. I'll mute you, Will. We'll come back to you, Will.
Okay, mate. Okay.
Thank you, Will.
Yeah.
Bill, lovely to hear you talk about Jackie Magazine, and yeah, we just loved having you involved in the club for what's been 8 years, and can't thank you enough. And your introduction to Alexis has been transformative to the club. I've told you this. Alexis has been on the Daily Show every Wednesday. Yeah. He hosts a photography competition where we will send in stuff to him, and then on Friday he talks through some of his stuff, and been so good.
We should do one together, because Alexis and I will work together all over Europe over a period of about 5 or 6 years, and we had a very good time.
Yeah, no, he's great.
He's a terrific photographer.
Yeah, he does. He does take great photos. I think we'd all agree with that. Play that video with the Rizzle Kicks. They're down on Hove Lawns by the huts. It's because Tom Hines is in the video, and the video's had up, I don't know, 25 million views, whatever. Tom Hines is coming on as our special guest on Thursday for a Q&A, but I would suggest that we go to Mark. Mark's going to sing us a song, live piano and a sing-song, and we'll do the Rizzle Kicks tomorrow. Is that all right?
Okay, we'll do Lucas on Thursday then. That's perfect. Okay, lovely.
Steele.
Yeah, tomorrow. Go.
Mr. Steele.
All right, what, have I got to sing a song?
Yeah, that's all right.
Right. I'm like someone who's just made a meal and then does that annoying thing of going, I'm afraid it's horrible because they dish it up. But the piano hasn't been tuned for months, obviously, because I don't know if I know he said you're allowed your clean around or something, didn't he, Boris Johnson? But he didn't mention piano tuners, did he? Right, all right, let's see if I can remember this. And I'm going to have a wire dangling in me, right? Can you hear that?
Yeah.
Walk like Cajun tigers, we couldn't get closer than this. The way we walk, the way we walk, the way we talk, the way we stalk, the way we kiss, then we slip through the streets while everyone's getting bigger and vibrant, sneaker and private. Kiss and scratch and hiss all night, then away we go, throw the song that we know into the sea. Just you and me are the years that no one heard. Shelter in spring, it's a treacherous thing. I miss you, it's the love cats. So wonderfully, 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 wonderfully pretty. You know that I'd do anything for you. We could have each other for dinner, we could have each other with cream. Sitting by the fire, get up for a while, it's a beautiful thing. Glorious dream, oh, into the sea, just you and me. Years that no one heard. I show you in spring, it's a treacherous thing. I miss you, it's the love cats.
Andrew, Berry Creel is an honorary Daily Show legend. But no, thank you, everyone. It's been emotional. Chriso?
Yeah.
Go for it, mate. What's up?
I've got a music lesson at 6:30, so I just ask you to unmute my farewell.
All right, then. Everyone say bye, Chris. Bye, everyone.
Don't forget to go and the show as well.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye. Bonsoir. Buenas noches. Tonight, but we love Gareth. He's a legend.
No, just say that Alexis and Nikki like my photo.
They love the photo.
Alexis and Nikki like my photo. They do, and they think it's better than videos.
Oh.
Yeah, I haven't had a chance to do that, Al, but people's owls were fantastic, weren't they? That they sent, you know, and that was so lovely that you did a card for Chris O.
Oh, thanks. Yeah, good fun. Yeah, and a dark blue.
Oh, okay, darker one.
Maybe a little smidgen of black, but not too much. Some teachers say we not to use black, and they're a bit purist in the olden days.
Really?
Yeah. So can't use black, you know, make black. Okay. So you've all got your paints ready. So we're going to start with the sky.
Yeah.
And, I'll just angle it up a bit.
If anybody wants anything, put it in chat because I'm concentrating now.
Right, here we go. So we can start the light colour.
Yeah. Is that in the middle of the paper?
Yeah, it doesn't have to be perfect.
Okay.
And don't use too much water because it won't be so soggy.
Yeah, sure.
Plenty of white on.
Is that green you've put at the top as well? I've done a bit of green.
It's supposed to be blue, but
blue.
With acrylics you can just go over it.
Okay.
Then add a tinge of little red, not too much, maybe. And then when you got that, with your dry brush, just smudge it in.
Okay. Smudging the colours together. So that red patch, just okay.
It'll start to blend.
Yeah.
And you can add a bit of white to give it emphasis. But have a rag, dry your cloth, brush that.
Yeah.
And that'll help. And if you cover up some of the colour, just go over it with the lighter colour on top, and it will soon.
I'm loving the rag tip. I think that's really good because it sort of, it almost makes it better for me. What I've, a bit rubbish. I can sort of blend it nicely.
So I've overdone it with the colour, so I'm going to try and get the white back in.
Mm.
So it's just happy mistakes.
Yeah, I like that. Happy mistake.
Nothing is wrong or nothing is right. Now I get another dry brush.
So you've put yellow, like, is that the actual sun? You put a bit more yellow
yeah, it could be, sort of emphasis.
Okay. Yeah. Got it. And a bit more red.
Maybe not as, And you can use a rag to sort of blend it in a bit more.
Yeah.
And then if you're ready, we can go on to the go on to the sea. I'm just going to have a bit more white down there.
Okay, we'll just have a look now who's on here. So yeah, Lucy and Susie having a good go, and Gary's having a go, and Helen is that. Yeah, look, I think I've done it like a. I think my red. I've got a bit heavy on the old red, Helen. What do you reckon?
That's all right. You can just go over it later when it's dried a bit, or get a rag and wipe it if you like.
Yeah.
And then for the sea, just balance out the blue.
So we're doing the bottom bit now.
We're going to do the bottom bit.
Okay. Yeah, it's amazing the white, when you add that in, it just takes the edge off it, doesn't it?
It does.
Yeah.
It does.
That a bit better, actually.
And then just slap all the blue on.
Slap it on, like that.
Slap it on, yeah.
That's the technical expression there. Slap it on.
Slap it on. Get as much paint. And you can either distinguish the sky, or you can make it blend. Sometimes you can't see the horizon.
Yeah.
So it's up to you how you want to do it. So you can either blend it.
Are you adding different blues into that?
Yeah, once you've got, it's normally dark to light. So as you go back towards the horizon, it goes lighter. So the foreground's dark.
Oh,
and the light gets light. So then we get the white.
Yeah.
And we splatter bits of the waves just to emphasis.
Mm. So it's lighter towards the horizon.
towards the horizon.
Yeah, got it.
I'm getting that showing a bit better.
Lovely. Are you just watching, Lenora, and you're going to do it later? There's only a few of us on here. I'm going to just try and unmute because Tim's got it. I'm just going to unmute. See, if it's really noisy, I'll mute it back up.
That's all right.
Yeah. So we can talk now, Helen, Lenora.
Wow.
Yeah, and I'm just being observational this time because especially with the sea, it's trying to make the sea look like the sea.
It's literally drying your brush in between really helps, and just sort of putting little bits of white on the edge. Almost
That's amazing.
like that. You just tease it.
That's the foam, is it?
Tease it onto the.
It's just your waves look so good. Rubbish. I'm going to blend it in with my rag.
You can blend it and then go over it, or you can just you can use a white sort of little pen or.
So that's a fan brush, isn't it?
A fan brush, or you can just use a little tiny brush and do it individually, which probably ages. But you know, like a really small brush, and you can go in detail.
Yeah.
Okay. Would you go in with the fan brush first and then do the little bits? Like that?
You can do. It's only because it's a fan brush, because it's a really old brush. Any old brush that you've got, you can mess it up and just use the little tiny bits. It gives the same effect.
That helps. Thank you.
It does help. Yeah. And then I'm going to make it a bit more interesting in the foreground by adding a teeny little bit of red and blue, just to make it a little bit darker, just to give it interest.
Oh, so you've gone really dark at the bottom. I like that. Okay.
Yeah. But that can all be blended in to bring, it's just to give a little bit of lift. What makes a picture interesting is the highlights and the lowlights combination. And then I get a sort of damp brush and just blend it in. Or you can have it prominent. You don't have to be blended. It can be show up if you like. Show the sort of shadows in the waves, which you would see.
It's amazing. I've got to go, I'm afraid. So I'll see you all tomorrow or the next day.
Oh, yeah. Helen.
Oh, cheers, Helen. Lovely to see you.
Later. Bye.
Bye.
Helen.
Oh, it's nice. Gary's working.
Oh, that's good.
Love this. Teresa, that was fab.
It doesn't, it's just lovely.
You know what? I think if you put Ingrid and Jack on that's 58. Because Ingrid and Jack were here. They just weren't on the show.
Yeah, definitely.
A small paintbrush. Yeah.
Serena, that is beautiful.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
It's just stunning. Mine is not. Mine is looking childlike.
That's lovely as well.
I'm trying.
So, yeah. Oh, yeah. That's fantastic. That's good.
I can't get the wave bits though. That's what I'm saying.
What brush are you using? Show me your brush.
Oh, rubbish. I'm embarrassed to show it to you. It's a makeup brush.
Oh,
that's everything else.
That's all right. That's fine.
I might
Just, it'll probably take you a little bit longer, but that's fine. Makeup brush.
Yeah.
Some people paint with unusual objects. There's one lady person who paints with a baseball on a big sheet.
Really?
There's some people that paint with their feet.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah. I get those Christmas cards every year. I paint something in character.
Yeah.
They're amazing, aren't they?
I remember when I was like 13 and I was doing some volunteer work for my school, watching this person, guy called Paul, doing his painting with his mouth and his feet. Wow. So inspirational.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
So to do the pier,
yeah,
we're just going to do a pencil line, or you can just use a straight ruler, or just a line across.
Right. So how close over the sea? Is it over the sea?
It's probably on the horizon, so it's sort of
on the horizon.
Yeah, sort of. Oops, just on the horizon bit there.
Yeah. Gotcha.
And then we're going to get a thin black. You need to use a pen or a pencil. Makeup pen, but brush to do our black line.
Yeah. So you're going at doing the line across. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Can you do yellow and red? No, there. If you want me, no, there. I did.
And then to do the pier, we're just going to do 2 little lines down.
2 little lines. Okay, there.
That's the front. And
is that in white you're doing that, Serena?
Oh, that's in white, yeah.
Yeah.
And then we can do a line across like a rugby pitch and paint that in like a, and if you can see that.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, okay.
And then we literally just do it white all along.
Yeah. Well, on top of the black line or under?
Just on top. Yeah, on top. The black line's more the guide and the shadow of the.
Oh, I get you.
Yeah. So.
Yeah.
And then we're going to do the first building from that, which is a little bit higher.
Okay.
I'm going to make that bigger. And then they have a little smaller one with a little dome, and then a little bit of black, so make a light grey, sort of light grey for the roof. We're going to do a little semicircle. Sort of like
Cool. Yes, you've done that sort of grey.
Yeah. We'll do another little one down here.
Going to say, I think mine's an imaginary pier because it's gone a bit long, my pier. So I think it's.
That's all right. If you're not confident with doing fine work, just do it in pencil, and you can go over it later on and just get the feel of just drawing.
I don't mind actually the fine stuff. I'm quite steady hand with, and this makeup brush actually for this bit is fine.
Oh, that's good. Then we do our little flag.
I did use the a bit of black pen for the owl of it, you know.
Oh yeah.
Where are the flags on that top there?
Oh, on the top part.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, that's cool.
So the line of the pier follows the horizon, the top of the pier.
Yeah, I shouldn't have done mine a bit.
It's all right, Trish. I've done the same.
Yeah, do you know what I mean? I've not quite done it. It's okay. I'm just changing my horizon slightly.
That's all right.
Mine's different because it's watercolour.
Ah. And then you do your little windows underneath.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Which lifts it all out.
Mm.
does make a difference. Yeah.
Do you know what? It is so therapeutic, this.
Oh, good. So you're a budding artist, hope by the time this lockdown finish.
Well, no, I don't think I'm very good, but what I'm saying is the process.
Yeah.
I'm really enjoying it.
Oh, good.
But Teresa, you're very creative with the games and stuff, so this will come more naturally to you.
Yeah.
I am creative. That's nice of you to say, Susie. And I feel I am creative with ideas, but I have never thought of myself as like my mum is an amazing knitter and needlework and all of that, but that just skipped my generation. I'm rubbish, like practical, like you know, and I'm not a great cook. I'm okay and things like that, but art and things, I was never really very good. I perhaps could have the ideas, but I could never do it. Now, are you doing the legs underneath now, Serena? What's going?
No, I'm just doing the details of the pier, doing the little dome. But I can the legs. I can go to the legs for that.
Yeah.
So you probably need a bit of water and black to make it a bit runny, make it smoother. So this is where it comes in handy with using the really fine brush. I'm just doing lines down.
Okay, Serena, I'm just for a moment. I'm cancelling the spotlight and then bringing it back up again.
That's all right.
It just wouldn't work on mine.
Don't worry.
Oh yeah, there we go. You're back. That's back. That's just brilliant. Wow. Wanted to see what else you've done there. Oh yeah.
Okay.
So
not too much water, or you can just use a black pen.
And do the legs get longer as they go?
Yeah, I've given because as further back you go, the smaller they are. So the nearer, as they get nearer, they get longer.
Hmm.
I'm watching this time as well instead of. I just start to.
Oh, it's just so clever.
It's just watching the process as well sometimes.
Yeah, and actually that's therapeutic in itself, Lenora, isn't it?
Oh,
watching the process.
I used to watch Bob Ross.
Oh yeah, he's still doing it on BBC. Have you seen the?
Well, no, he's Bob Ross not live anymore. Canadian guy.
Yeah, they're showing it on TV now.
They're showing it. Oh,
yeah, they're doing a little session. I think I don't know. Really and
happy little accidents. When you said that, I thought of Bob Ross. And
So this is great because what you're doing is perspective as well.
that's right. Yes. So I'm just crisscrossing it to emphasise the structure underneath the pier.
Yeah.
It's just to show that it's suggestion, so it doesn't have to be exactly.
No. Okay.
So part of the structure that's behind, like the other end of the side.
The what's that merry-go-round thing at the sort of table?
I just wondering the perspective. Getting that, I can see it.
We can't make this then.
Yeah.
Not bad.
And then the Helter Skelter is just sort of a little ice cream upside down, and it's just doing little lines.
Ah.
Sort of little lines going down.
Oh, I see.
So you can do blue, and then I'll do another colour. Sort of
Oh
yellow.
yeah, Skelter. That's so cool.
Skelter. So it's sort of yellow. And I'll probably do a little blue, sort of just to define.
Okay.
That's a little helter skelter.
Right.
Then as a suggestion for the bottom, as like people walking past, I just do little blobs.
Amazing.
Different colours. Then I put a red, then I put a yellow. It's a bit big. Just a suggestion of people walking on the pier.
Yeah. That's incredible, Serena.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you so much for sharing that.
It's really nice time.
It's just the waves and things, isn't it? Unbelievable, Lenore. I'm just like looking and thinking, I feel quite pleased with what I've done, and then I keep looking back up at Serena's and thinking, okay.
I'm looking at the magic. I thought, I can't take my eyes away.
Yeah, I've got a bit of a problem because I don't have white, but it's not strong white. So what should I put in its place for the waves?
Are you painting at the moment?
Yeah.
Let me have a look at you. I can see you. Oh, you hold it up, Susie. I can see you.
Finished it by a long shot, but
Oh no, that's good. What you need to do is just leave out bits.
right.
So you need to anything white. You just have to. You probably have to draw it first and draw around. Keep the white as white.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, because it's.
But your daughter's got poster pencil pens. So you get those out and put the white on top.
Oh, yeah, those white pens. Oh, yeah.
White pens.
You mean the stone ones?
Yeah, the acrylic pens.
Yeah, yeah.
So after it's dry, you can go over and do that on top.
Okay.
Well, that's a good idea.
Not where I want to put it. With the very not so strong white, and then go over them in proper ones.
Yeah, wait till it dries.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'll do that. It is a problem because you use quite a bit of strong white, and I haven't got any. I don't know why. Probably.
Sorry.
Probably used on my.
That's nice, Teresa.
It's not bad, is it, Lenora? I mean, actually, it looks better, the reflection in there, than actually me looking at it.
I'm very impressed.
Yeah, thank you.
No worries.
That's not bad.
You can add more on top of it.
Let's have a look, Teresa.
What do you think?
Oh, yeah, that's good. Yeah, yours is very atmospheric. I like it. Yeah.
That's cool.
I think we're nearly there, are we, folks?
Yes, I think, yeah, because it's 10 to 7. I've got another Zoom thing at 7:30. I've got my friends. So,
and what you best thing to do is make it get a piece of card.
Oh
and
yeah,
just put it in between.
Oh, that's
wow.
And then frame it.
That's incredible. Incredible. Serena, at the beginning of the show tomorrow, let's show everybody. That would be really nice. Show them yours, and if you know, we'll show your one tomorrow at the beginning of the show.
Oh, okay, yes, yeah.
And I'll hold up mine, and Susie and Lucy can hold up theirs.
Everyone hold up their pictures.
Yeah,
yeah. Spotlight the people that have done the picture.
Yeah, they can go. Oh. That's brilliant. Yeah, Gary, what do you think, mate?
Fantastic.
Great.
Yeah, but now look at Serena's, Gary. Now look at Serena's.
You know, I don't find Serena.
They're all good. Did you do one, Gary?
No, I was cleaning a new fridge.
Ah.
Yeah, fresh air.
I can have a go afterwards.
Yes.
Yeah. I've got to go now, so I'll say goodbye to everyone.
Yeah. Yeah, I think we've all got to go. Serena.
Bye, everybody.
Oh, show us your owl, Lenora.
Is it?
No, because of the background.
Hang on.
I think you might have to turn off the virtual background.
That's strange. Hang on.
You've got the
earth
on the top.
Oh, Lucy, that's really good.
Oh, yes. I like it. Fantastic.
Okay,
Wow.
now Lenora. Oh, Lenora, you're out.
That's great. Yes. Yeah. We'll have to do a big display of all your work at the end.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm
Thank
done.
you. Oh, I like yours, Susie and Lucy.
That's Lucy's out.
Lucy's. Wow.
I think it's been really good because Lucy wasn't painting at all very much. She used to paint and then she stopped painting.
Oh, okay.
I think you're giving her a lot of confidence with painting. That you know,
Brilliant.
she can show her work to you and stuff like that. I think it's lovely.
I'm not gonna show you.
Serena, thank you very much, darling.
Serena, thank you so much. It's been amazing.
You're so talented. And you're
Yeah.
so calming. Your voice is calming as well.
Lovely.
I think I've got onion in my eyes.
It's not all in the brush.